All right. Welcome to another impactful episode. It's number 30 now. I have a wonderful, wonderful guest, Amrut Deshmukh.
Thank you so much, Amit, for having me on your platform. In fact, I'm thanking you because you are helping me to spread Mission Make India Read.
It's such a wonderful thing that you have your mission India Read, and I am well aware of it, and it's fantastic. It's mind blowing. Amrut is gonna share loads of information, and you're blessing my show so that you can share your impactful stories to impact many more people. Wonderful. All right, so let me introduce Amrut. Popularly, he's known as the Booklet guy, and Amrut Deshmukh, who calls himself an outdated chartered accountant, is on a mission to cultivate the habit of reading amongst the youth of India. Mission Make India Read. He reads for India. How does he do that? Well, we're going to listen to him shortly. Before that, let me also say that he's a three-time TEDx speaker and was awarded as the Youth Icon of 2020. He has more than 1.6 million young subscribers, that is 16 lakh subscribers and growing, who are enthusiastically reading books with him on his free mobile app called as Booklet. Today, Amrit will share his story where he went into depression after three failed startups and a failed relationship, and what happened during that time to transform him to the person he is today. With that, let me welcome once again Amrut and congratulations on all the success and all the future success you're gonna get into it. And thank you for helping millions and millions of people, specifically youths, to help them to read and grow. So thank you very much for that.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So as you rightly said, uh, people call me as booklet guy. तो ये इंग्लिश वाला गाय है, ओके हिंदी वाला नहीं. Before I tell what I do, it is very important to share why I do what I do. Yeah. So my why is a simple belief system, and I strongly believe that if I'm not reading, I'm not changing, and if I'm not changing, I'm not growing. And because of this strong belief, I have a burning desire to cultivate the habit of reading amongst the youth of India. And hence, I'm on a mission called Make India Read. If I have a dream that one day India will be known as a nation of readers on the world map, and I'm going to make it come true, come what may, and live for this mission till my last breath. That's my promise. It was 4 years ago. As a chartered accountant, I got into stock market. Quick money. I firmly believe that there is nothing more important than money in life. So stock market was the obvious place to land up, and I actually started making a lot of money. My financial targets got achieved. Yeah, small car getting upgraded into a bigger car, then chauffeur driven car, expensive vacations abroad, yeah, fat salary. I think my last drawn salary was 2.5 lakhs a month. Yeah. एंड स्टॉक मार्केट है तो सैलरी अलग और ऊपर से जो मैं कमा रहा हूँ स्टॉक मार्केट से वो अलग. सो आई वाज एट द पीक ऑफ माय करियर एंड बैंक बैलेंस, बट there was no respect at all, and satisfaction. There was no sense of fulfillment before going to bed every night. It was only about money. Uh, Maybe the reason was that I did not see any respect. The moment I stepped outside my office, even the watchman in the elevator used to yell at me. Yeah, the respect was only restricted to the cubicle in which I was sitting, and even within that cubicle. So I was a portfolio manager, a fund manager who used to handle crores of funds of rich people, NRIs and HNI clients. एंड सो CNBC पे वो लोग आते हैं ना, ONGC खरीदो, एक्सिस बैंक बेचो, तो वो मेरा काम था. And whenever I advised a client to buy a stock and that stock declined by even 0.5%, the only words I could hear on my phone were तेरी माँ की डैश 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 तेरी बहन की dash dash dash. You know, stock market is a ruthless, merciless game. It's a zero sum game theory. It's actually a white collar gambling, to say. And so I thought I should quit my job. I have enough savings, so I started a new startup. But my first startup failed. I tried a second startup, that too failed. I tried a third startup, and guess what happened this time? It failed. So with three failed startups on my LinkedIn profile, and as a result of that, one failed relationship on my Facebook profile, because 70% of my life savings were wiped out. I had a big hole in my pocket. I went into chronic depression for almost 1.5 months. Things were so bad. I was living only on breakfast, and my breakfast consisted of one cup of tea and two biscuits. No lunch, no dinners. I was reduced to skeleton. I lost some 12 kg in just 1.5 months, and I had a suicidal thoughts as well. But then there was one common thread that went through all these setbacks, and that was my reading habit. All thanks to my elder brother. He literally forced the reading habit on me when I was a child. So when during my birthdays, few days before my birthday arrived, he used to call all my friends and their parents and used to warn them that no toys as birthday gifts will be allowed on Amrut's birthday. If at all you want to gift anything, you should gift books. So in short, I never enjoyed my birthdays. Surrounded with books, no toys to play. I got introduced to Harry Potter, Tenali Raman, Akbar Birbal, Arabian Nights, Sherlock Holmes, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Akbar Birbal. I mean, so many. There are stories of Rabindranath Tagore, Swami and his friends, and they literally connected with my inner emotions, and stimulated my imagination. I was lost in that imaginative world. But I believe that was not the turning point. The turning point came after my 10th exams. I was free. It was summer vacation, and my brother again came to me and said, now you're growing up, okay, you should start reading non-fiction. I said, what's that? As an innocent child, I believed books means only stories and fantasy. I was such a naive reader that for many years I thought Anonymous is the name of a famous poet. You can understand how naive reader I was. सब जगह इसका नाम आ रहा है, कोई बड़ा लगता है, कोई बड़ा कवि है. uh, and then he said, no, no, no. There are thousands of books which may not be based on stories, but you get to learn a lot from these books. And I said that, what was I doing for 10 years in my school? I was learning. And he said, no, 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 these things are not taught in schools and colleges. I asked, why? And he said, I don't know. Because he was also quite young. And he gifted me a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. It's a bestseller. I call it as a Bible for the financial world. And that was my first non-fiction book of my life. And all thanks to my brother, after reading that book, I went mad on my parents and my teachers that nobody even talked about something called financial freedom. That why rich people become richer and poor get poorer. It's not about luck or intelligence. It's about a mindset. Money is an idea. Yeah. And then came, I realized that the more I know, the more I come to know that there is a lot that I don't know. And then came The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Chanakya Niti, yeah, Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. आई वुड से अगर आपने वो बुक नहीं पढ़ी है तो आपने पाप किया है जिंदगी में. It's a timeless epic. No, it will be relevant for next 1,000 years. Yeah, simple basic principles to win the heart of your spouse or client or employees, whatever. Yeah, building human relations. So that's how I became an avid reader, because of my elder brother. And during my depression days, one of my CA friends, उससे बहुत तरस आया उसको मेरे पे, because I was not socializing, I was locking myself inside the room. So एक बार मुझे उसने फ़ोन किया और बोला कि अरे एक पिक्चर आई है बाहुबली नाम की, जो बहुत सुना है उसके बारे में, तो चल देखने जाते हैं. I said, are you crazy? इधर पूरी लगी पड़ी है, लाइफ की वाट लगी है, 3 फेलियर्स, वो भी मुझे छोड़ के गई, और तू पिक्चर की बात कर रहा है। तो उसने बोला कि अरे मैं टिकट के पैसे देता हूँ, डोंट वरी। आई सेड ओके, आई एम रेडी। once a CA, always a CA. So we reached the movie theater 15 minutes before the show time. So how to kill time? We both were not interested in shopping, and because of my depression, I was not interested in bird watching. The other attractions of the mall. And so, just time pass करने के लिए, I was reading a book that week, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Again, a bestseller in non-fiction. And I just narrated him those 7 habits, tuck, 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 in 15 minutes, casually. And he was so impressed by my narration. He said, Amrut, look, you are an avid reader. I know because of your elder brother, you have been reading regularly, but I don't get time to read books. तो बोला ये तो तू बोल ही मत, nobody is busy in life, it's all about priorities. Yeah. If you have time for Facebook, you have time for a book. वो बोला हाँ रे, आई अग्री, इट्स एन एक्सक्यूज, बट आई हैव द गिल्ट ऑफ नॉट रीडिंग रेगुलरली. और तूने अभी जैसे समझाया ना, इट वॉज सो नाइस, सिंपल, क्रिस्प. आई फेल्ट लाइक आई विजिटेड द बुक विदाउट रीडिंग इट, और आई गॉट द मेन मैसेज व्हाट द ऑथर इज ट्राइंग टू कन्वे इन हिज बुक. तो तू एक काम कर, जो भी बुक्स पढ़ेगा आइंदा से, तो उसके नोट्स जो तुम लिखते हो डायरी में, उसके फोटो मुझे व्हाट्सएप करना, so that your reading habit can benefit me. That last line struck me so hard. Wow, my reading habit, I am passionate about reading, can help him. Everybody reads for oneself, but nobody reads for others. And if I start reading for others, I will get all the more motivation to read more. I had 3 failed New Year resolutions to read one book a week. 1st January, full Josh mein, one book a week. And by 2nd week of February, tie tie puss. So that excited me so much that in the interval, I literally lied to my friend that I want to pee, and I escaped from the theater. उसका ही bike लेके मैं घर भाग गया and checked on the internet ऐसा कोई कर रहा है क्या? Nobody was doing this. So I decided to execute this idea within 1 week, before the excitement fades away from my heart. Ideas don't change the world. Execution of ideas change the world, because thousands of ideas come to our mind on toilet seat every day. How many of us work on them once we're out of the toilet? That makes a difference. And but then I was stuck, that a chartered accountant, a non-IT guy who doesn't know how to develop an app or a website. मुझे तो जावा का फुल फॉर्म भी नहीं मालूम था. बाद में पता चला कि जावा इज नॉट अ फुल शॉर्ट फॉर्म, itself a full form. uh, and so the golden words of my elder brother: whenever you are stuck up with the question, not what next, yeah, he used to say that whenever you are stuck up with the question what next, read random. Read random, okay? We so-called highly educated people, want everything departmentalized and categorized. Yeah, we fall in love with a particular genre. Some people say I read only fiction, baba, only Harry Potter. The big guys say that I read only business related books which will help me maximize my profits, etc., or technical books. No, never do this. So he always used to say just read random. And so I stumbled upon a book called Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell. That was the first book, in fact, of this mission. And the author says that constraint inspires creativity. We think that constraint is a problem, a disadvantage. No, usually, 1 crore आएगा ना, फिर मैं startup शुरू करूँगा. No, no. Even I was thinking that way कि software developer मिलेगा ना, फिर मैं app बनाऊँगा, फिर देखना. That's not the right way of thinking. Whatever is available with you right now, try to make use of it, and try to take action within the limited resources which are available. And soon you'll realize that you force your brain to think differently, to think creatively. And soon you'll come to know that acres of diamonds are right there in your backyard. So you don't have to go out to search for a best techie guy in Silicon Valley. हम लोग हमेशा जो नहीं है उसके बारे में बात करते हैं. And so I said, okay, I have WhatsApp. Yeah, and everybody knows how to use WhatsApp. And this time there was a clear change in my mindset. Because after reading so many biographies of great world leaders like Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr., Abdul Kalam, I had come to realize that why I failed in my three previous startups. It was not about technology or wrong marketing strategy or the ideas were not great. No, none of these. It was the question that I asked whenever I opened a new venture. It was what's in it for me? Yeah, my money, my wealth, my progress, my profits, my bank balance. Yeah, everything me. Yeah, everything was selfish. After reading these biographies, there was a paradigm shift in my mindset from what's in it for me to what can I give. Suddenly, everything changed. And hence, WhatsApp was not a big problem for me because I was not expecting anything in return. It was just about giving unselfishly. Yeah. And so I summarized the book, the same book, Acres of Diamonds, and shared it with 10 of my close friends, okay, whom I really cared for, including the one who gave me this idea at the Bahubali theater, and asked them to please read it and share it with your friends along with my WhatsApp number. To my surprise, within 1 week, there were 1,000 people who requested me that we like the idea and we also want to read your book summaries. That boosted my confidence, and I named it as Mission Make India Read. Yeah, and I promised everybody that every Wednesday you will get a new summary of preferably a best-selling book, yeah, of 20 minute in text form. And that's how the seed of the mission was planted in that Bahubali theater. And thanks to my friend who gave me that idea.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. I mean, it's let me first share. There are few likes and there are few comments. So Amita Singh shares, yeah, she gives all the claps and she also mentions there be a giver.
Thanks,
True,
Amita.
true. And Amrut, amazing story, amazing. Because it has all the flavors of how you've been doing excellent from there to your downfall and to the swamp that you were in, and then going up and staying there. And of course, what you mentioned is correct that we do try to search a lot of things, and we don't be resourceful. So what you did was you were being resourceful and understand what you have. Now, I don't take away a lot of my guests' platform because I want them to speak a lot, okay, and be a little tired in 30 minutes. So my next thing is that first of all, I want to talk about Amrit's book. This is his booklet, as he calls the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers, and it's quite interesting. If you go through it, and there's a very last page which says, I have placed a clue about the seventh habit somewhere. Happy guessing. So that that was quite fun to read as well. Now, Amrit, I want you to talk about your book, 7 Habits of Effective Readers. I mean, what inspired you to first of all write this, and share some things which are really really important for people to listen here.
Sure. I think that's a very relevant and wonderful question, because my plan was that I will not bother about revenue, profits. We just keep giving, and I was very sure that for at least 3 years I can sustain because it was WhatsApp, right? So there was no much fixed overheads, and I was all alone. Uh, the plan was that after 3 years, when there is a good amount of base, there are good number of readers, then I'll come out with an app, start spending some money on the technology, and then probably come out with a revenue stream. Okay, but I was very clear that I want to be a social entrepreneur. Okay, the term is quite new in India. For me, a social entrepreneur is different from social worker. Okay, social worker is always at the mercy of the donor. डोनेशन नहीं मिला तो सब ठप. Yeah, a social entrepreneur is very conscious about the revenue streams, and the objective is to cover the costs of his mission or project. Yeah, it is never to maximize his personal wealth. Yeah, and the income stream should be very legitimate, which perfectly blend with his higher purpose, which are, the money is in sync with a meaningful contribution to the society. Okay, it's not just कि हर चीज से पैसा नहीं कमाना है. Okay, and that's why you see there are no irritating ads in Booklet app, because on one hand I'm asking you to read, and on the other hand I'm distracting you by flashing ads. Sorry, my conscience did not allow me to do so. In the lockdown, Biko Vajradanti had approached me that you have almost 16 17 lakh readers, and your audience is perfect for our new product. आलिया भट्ट को लेके कुछ नया जिंगल उन्होंने बनाया था. And I said, sorry, toothpaste and books, no connection. They were offering me a huge amount to run the ad for 3 days. I had to turn down. So you see, when your why is very clear, it becomes easier to take decisions. And what better can be to write a book? Since I'm on a mission called Make India Read, my book will be a major source of revenue to cover the cost of the mission. I know it's too cliche, a very traditional approach. But if I'm on mission Make India Read, and if I fail to make people read my book, that's so paradoxical. Yeah. And so I thought, what should be the topic, the subject on which I should write a book? After 2 3 years, I started the mission, I started getting a lot of invitations across the world, at international conferences. Dentists का association होता है, architects का होता है, chartered accountants का होता है, in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. And on at all these seminars, common questions started popping up from the crowd. That Amrut, I doze off while reading. After 5 pages पढ़ने के बाद नींद आ जाती है. Amrut, I don't remember what I read. How to implement the great ideas that we learn from books. Amrut, I'm a slow reader. Yeah. Initially, I start reading, but after a few pages, I lose the excitement. Yeah, क्या करूँ मैं? I feel that guilty about it. And I realized that these were all my reading problems. Even I struggled it. Nobody's an exception to this. Yeah. And I started experimenting with my reading life, lot of experiments, crazy experiments, and started coming out with creative solutions to all these reading problems. And all these experiments manifested into a book. And I identified those vital 7 habits which will make you an effective reader, which will help you to take maximum from a book with minimum time and effort. And hence, finally, I published a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers, not written by Stephen Covey, written by Booklet guy. Stephen Covey is my favorite author, so as a tribute to him, I adapted his title.
Sorry. Wow, that's quite impressive. I mean, and yeah, it is. It is. This is a problem with a lot of people. Like I do read a lot, but people keep asking me, "अरे तू ऐसे कैसे पढ़ लेता है इतना?" मेरे को तो बुक खोलते ही नींद आ जाती है. So I can understand that. In my case, my whole thought is all about stories, right? And each book, no matter if it's fiction or non-fiction, they have some stories that they share to prove their points or concepts or ideas, right? And that is where I take it through. Like I get kicked when I hear those stories. So just to let you know, so my first motivational book was Shiv Khera's "You Can Win,"
Oh, wow.
uh, and yeah, that changed my life because the short stories in that showed me that I can do something, and I just don't have to face the defeat that is going on. I'm better. But let's talk about I have your book open, and I've read this. I got it like few months back now. I just want to go through one thing, like how do you read and pass it on thing, like what are your ideas on pass it on? How do you do that? I mean, you're doing it well, but how do you tell others to do it?
Hmm. In fact, it was very tough for me as well. Like any other naive reader, even I was possessive about books. But then when I dug deeper and tried to define what is a book by myself, let's try to define a book. Is it the white paper and the black ink sandwiched in a cardboard? Is that a book? If that's the case, then the most knowledgeable person in this world should have been the Raddiwala. I pity Raddiwala. He has no idea that he's surrounded with such a great treasure and he's not getting anything out of it. Yeah. But for you and me, the right definition, ये definition उसके लिए ठीक है. For you and me, this is just a medium to transfer the thoughts, ideas, experiments, ideologies of these great authors into my mind. This is just a medium. Yeah. So what is more important, the substance or the form, the medium? Yeah. So once you are done with the book, proudly hand it over to a friend. Putting it on the bookshelf is criminal, because the book is dead on the bookshelf. Yeah. When I give the book to a friend and then I insist him to read, and then when I ask him a smart question, what are the top 3 learnings from this book? Probably those are the ones which I must have missed out or forgotten. And this is how you revisit the book without rereading it. I'm not against rereading, but there is a better way. You share some ideas, you get some ideas, then the friend will return the book. I'll give it to friend number 2, friend number 3, friend number 4, and the book travels through 10 different hands, touches 10 different lives, and now the book is completely out of order. The pages are coming out, it's out of shape, pages have turned yellow, some beautiful handwriting, some shabby handwriting. That is the most beautiful book for me in the world, not the one
Wow.
decorated in the red ribbons in the crossword. Yeah. So read and pass it
Wow.
on.
Awesome. Awesome. You really touched me that it's a medium. And yeah, I am trying to let go. I'll be very honest.
I know it's
I
not easy.
am one. Yeah, it's just that, ये तो रख लेता हूँ, ये तो बहुत अच्छी बुक है. And so yeah,
Mhm.
but you really touched. You opened my eyes in a very different manner today. Is that despite after 20-25 years of reading, and I'm 41 now, but I never thought it in this manner. I of course give the books, but I buy a new one and give it and keep mine with me.
Okay.
you know but
I would like
I
to
loved
share
your.
one experience. Yeah. So since you
Yeah.
said this, so I had passed one book to 5 of my friends, one by one. Everybody read the same book, and then I had a get together of all those 5 friends in my house once the lockdown was opened. And what a conversation! And the quality of conversation was at such a different level. The if it were gossiping, small talks are out of question. What better can be to elevate the quality of a conversation between friends than sharing one big idea from a book that you have read recently? Yeah. So it's such a friend. This is my favorite hobby, to discuss what I read recently in a book.
Lovely, lovely. And Amita Singh also agrees that read and share. Thanks for sharing this beautiful idea. It is. It is truly a wonderful idea. And most importantly, the reasoning behind this is like, yeah, that's fantastic. I'm gonna use this as a snippet and share it in many places for sure. All right, Amrit, we are almost at the tail end of the show. Do you have any, before I ask my last question, do you have anything to talk to our viewers, people
Yeah,
who are listening
sure.
live
Uh,
and watching it later?
Absolutely. Today being National Youth Day, yeah, birth anniversary of Swami Vivekanand, and he used to say that don't try to live all the human values. And I was surprised to read this. What is he saying? And he says that pick up only one human value. Now we know what are human values: truth, non-violence, freedom, integrity, yeah, sacrifice. These are basic human principles, human values. He says that if you try to live all of them, you will not give justice to any of them. So pick one human value, because most of them are overlapping, and live it with all your blood, sweat, and tears. Let it be part of each and every nerve and muscle. till your last breath. And I decided to pick one human value, and whatever I do, whatever I speak, no, unselfishness is one human value that I'm going to live for the rest of my life. And so Booklet app is completely free. Yeah, no subscription fees, no donation button, nothing. Then when I wrote the book, I thought, how can I bring unselfishness in my book? So I haven't copyrighted my book. I believe, it's my personal belief, that copywriting and patenting is selfishness. If Albert Einstein would have patented E is equal to mc square, today GPS maps wouldn't have been free for us. The law of relativity. So the ideas in this book should be a gift for the mankind to take it forward. The 7 habits. Yeah. And then I started getting lot of emails, WhatsApp messages, calls from young boys and girls from rural India. Yeah. And started saying that we love reading, we love your mission, we are passionate readers, but we can't afford to buy books. And I said, okay, download Booklet app, everything is free, enjoy. And they used to say that, Amrut, we have read, heard all your booklet till now, and we are desperately waiting for your next upload. We wait for Wednesday. And I had no answer for them. My heart melted for such passionate but needy readers. But now that I've written my book, I have an answer. So what I do is I appeal to those who can afford to buy my book. Please go to my website bookletguide.com. The book is not on Amazon, it is on my personal site, bookletguide.com. The proceeds of the book partly go to cover the costs of the mission, because app is completely free, and part of the proceeds are used to give my book for free for such kind of passionate but poor readers. So I'm trying to play a kind of Robin Hood of books. Yeah, of course Robin Hood लोगों को लूटता था, अमीर लोगों को मैं लूटूंगा नहीं. मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा that please, if you can afford, you are not in a hand to mouth situation, please buy the book. Okay. And those who are watching, who think that they are below the poverty line because of the COVID, it has affected your revenue sources, feel free to approach me to get a free copy from me. Yeah. So please help me to become the Robin Hood. And as I said, I started my journey on WhatsApp. I still share book summaries on WhatsApp. Yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm ready to share my WhatsApp number here. It's 9594. Somebody can please write it down on my behalf on the chat. 9594 700 77. I repeat, 9594 700 77. All right. So just write your name and booklet, and I'll be happy to share book summaries on WhatsApp. And especially if you have an idea for a social startup, you are an aspiring social entrepreneur, I love to help such kind of startups.
Oh, so sweet. So I pasted it, and even Amita did it. The booklet guy. Thanks,
Thank you
Amita.
so much, Amit.
All right, fantastic. So we have these comments on all the platforms now. I'll make sure to put it again if it's missing, or if someone asks. And feel free to contact this awesome guy, Amita says. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, now my last question for everyone. I'm gonna leave this comment from Amita with the number. Uh, the last question is, Amrut, do you believe that stories impact? Storytelling is important, and if yes, why so?
100%. The world is not made of atoms and molecules. The world is made of stories. Okay. You see, every successful person has some role model. Yeah. Sachin was born because of Sunil Gavaskar. There was no Sunil Gavaskar, that wouldn't have been Sachin. Yeah. Because Sachin was born, Virat was born. We always look up to our role models, and we'll see their stories, listen to their stories. Yeah. Because I've read so many biographies, Mahatma Gandhi and Steve Jobs are my idols, and they are my mentors. Okay, I never met them, but I live each and every principles that they have laid down during their life. Yes, they are all stories. Yeah, I think so. Stories have great impact on our lives, and stories have memory. Stories have a lot of memory. We always remember the concepts through stories. We hate to learn philosophies or ideas and concepts, but if the same concept is presented in the form of a story, it's so easy to remember. Yeah.
True, true. Fantastic. Absolutely right. And like whenever it's gonna come to bullet guy in the stories that impact, and it's gonna be you and your wonderful stories that you shared today with us. So thank you very much for that, Amrit.
Yes. Yeah.
And before I give the last bye bye to Amrut, I would like to ask all the viewers to share your stories. And if you want to impact this world with your wonderful stories, please connect with me. My mission is very simple. I know everyone has stories. I've been born and brought up. I have personally many stories, but I realize that I cannot live and have all the stories of people and motivate many. So that's the whole reason to share come up with this show. And it's just a platform where I get people and I share this to the world, where you or somebody, your colleague, your friend, or someone might relate to Amrut's story and they might get in touch with Amrut and live their life better, right? So that's the whole idea, and my mission will be satisfied. I'll be personally satisfied if I can impact people. So do connect with me, ping me. If you want to connect with Amrut, of course, you can go and ping him on LinkedIn. There is a WhatsApp number now, which is easier. And, feel free to get in touch with him. Amrut, any last bye words to our viewers?
I can share one story, one incident that happened few months ago. It was 11 o'clock in the night, and I got a call from a young girl, very sweet voice, and she said, "Amruta, I love your voice. You speak so well. I listen to all your booklets. I wait for your books, audiobook summaries always." And I thought, at this hour, is this girl flirting with me? So even I decided to pull her leg and said that, why do you always listen? Booklet app has got both text and audio. Sometimes you can listen, sometimes you can read. You know what she said? She said, Amrut, I am blind. I can't read because I can't see. And I got goosebumps all over my body that, oh my God, how could I never think about this? That booklet can be a boon for such kind of people. Okay. I lost my mother 15 years ago when I was quite young, and she had donated her eyes after her death. But I think I am luckier than my mom that somebody can read books through my eyes while I'm alive. What else can I expect from life? That night, I went to bed as the most satisfied person on earth. वो satisfaction मेरे को stock market में घंटा का भी नहीं मिला था.
Wow, yeah, that actually gave a chill in my body as well. Yeah, it's amazing, and I'm not gonna take away the cachet that you have. Again, it's a buzzword, but that's awesome, Amrit. It's been fantastic. I know I've been following you since long, and you are on a fantastic mission. Any bit me or anybody can go ahead and do it. We'll all be there with you because you are helping millions and millions of people, and that's a fantastic mission. So God bless you, Amrit,
Thank you so
and
much. Yes,
take
really
care,
enjoy
buddy,
talking to
and
you.
have a
Yes,
wonderful rest of.
everybody, thank you so much. Happy reading, and please wash your hands. Bye bye. Chalo, bye bye.
Absolutely. Take care, dear. Bye.
Yeah, bye.